Sir David Attenborough joining us in the studio. Good morning and welcome. Thank you very much for joining us here on Sunrise.
Thank you very much.
The intro sounded a bit like the Cecil B. DeMille film.
I should tell you that pterosaurs are not dinosaurs. Not at all. No, they're flying jobs. Look at that.
Yeah, I know. And look at that. You were actually in a glider doing this. This isn't sort of trickery.
Yeah,
you were actually
look
up.
at that.
Fantastic footage. What was this? Months of standing in front of what we call green or blue screens doing CGI for you and being very bored?
No, there's actually very little of me and them. So that it's this CGI stuff which I think has brought 3D CGI to a new level. The images are so believable, but they are done by a great number of people working on every tiny little detail. Almost every insect that goes in there is put in there deliberately, you know. And there are people all over the world working on them. So that you work on them in day in Hammersmith, where Atlantic is based, and then you require, I would like more leaves, or I'd like more waves, or whatever, and then you put it on the web, and it goes to Australia or India or wherever you want.
They put another little bit
and they
in.
put it on, and then when you come in the office in the morning, they're the leaves or the insects.
But, of course, it wouldn't work without you. And I gather that your original idea was to actually go up in a hang glider at the age of 84 to do your presenter bit?
It's no big deal, you know. I mean, it's like being if you're in a hang glider, it's like being a bit of baggage, you know. I'm not driving. I'm no hang glider pilot. But the hang glider pilot, you'll be sitting alongside, but the insurers wouldn't let me do it.
Oh,
so I'm doing it in
spoil sports, eh?
Yeah.
But you went up in a glider to do it?
Yes, I mean, glider's a thrill. Have you ever been up a glider?
I have, yes,
well,
a long
it's
time
a thrill,
ago.
Isn't it? You don't do it.
I was scared stiff, I have to say, because when they let the tow rope go, down you go. So,
but you weren't piloting.
No.
Oh, well,
no.
So neither was I. I mean, I was just so then. I'm sure the chap at the back knows all about it. He's a world champion, so you know you're fine.
But I mean, wonderful for you to still be able to be storytelling, which is what it is, having done so much. And I guess this, compared to what you did in the early days with the old sort of wind-up cameras and so on, rather different.
Oh yes, it's very different. But in an odd way, it's come full circle, because when we started, you know, cameras were huge and primitive and one thing or another. But now, when you go back to 3D, cameras are
huge. Of course. Yeah.
I mean, if I'm making a natural history film now, I reckon that it'll be me and a cameraman and a little camera the size of sort of a book. But with 3D, the camera requires 4 people, or 2 or 4 people, just to carry it.
Yeah, so quite a physically demanding process.
You need 12 people in the crew.
But the storytelling, the process of storytelling, still the same as it was, and that's the skill that you've got in abundance.
Well, I honestly think that if you think the programmes aren't about storytelling and are about technology, you've lost the plot.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us about the Pterosaurus and the evolution, because you're covering a huge span of time with this.
Whoa, 150, 200 million years, that sort of stuff.
A blink of an eye, really. What do we learn? What's the thing that will really bring a new generation? A lot of school children, of course, learn about these things, and I guess this will be manna from heaven for them.
Well, I hope. I mean, it does tell us about a world that has long passed, of course, but it was a real world. I mean, a very real world. You sit there and you can look at the bones of these animals. You know, it's not imagination.
So
that's why
you built this up really from the scientific research of the skeletal remains and so on.
Entirely, and that, I hope, is the background, the basis of the fascination. That this isn't just imagination. There are real things that tell us that they did move like that.
And they are extraordinary looking things, aren't they?
They are, aren't they? I mean, they are really fabulous.